Welcome back to the 12 Days of Bakeness. Today I broke out the Instant Pot because we're making a pot roast. So pot roast isn't an entirely new recipe for me. I've made a couple pot roasts before, but I've never made them in an Instant Pot. I typically do them in a crock pot. I'll put it on low for like 6 or 8 hours, leave it there all day. But today I simply did not have time, so we're gonna try it in an Instant Pot. I've done 5-ish recipes in my Instant Pot before. Mostly ones that were already kind of pre-packaged Instant Pot recipes. They had them at Target for a while, especially during quarantine. They were a big lifesaver. Where it's this piece of meat already, and they'll have sauce and they'll have rice, and basically all you have to do is add a little bit of water and add all your ingredients together and just let the Instant Pot do its thing. So this is going to be a little bit of new territory for me, but I think it's going to go well. I'm going to take a recipe that I've already used before. It is my mother-in-law's pot roast recipe. I have a few tweaks that I'm making to it, but I'm going to be staying pretty true to that recipe because it's a very good one. So yeah, let's see how an Instant Pot does with a pot roast. I just realized this is my first savory dish on this channel. So lots of fun firsts we're doing today. I'm excited. I've done a couple savory recipes on my blog, but none on my channel yet. So here we go. Speaking of firsts, we're also going to be using the saute feature of this Instant Pot for the first time, at least for me. So I'm going to try and get a good brown on either side of my chuck roast here before I put it into the Instant Pot and let it cook for that longer period of time with some of the juices and with some of the liquids and vegetables and all that jazz. So my plan is to heavily salt and heavily pepper each side of the chuck roast, and then I'm going to put it in the Instant Pot and saute it with a little bit of butter. And then we're going to take it back out and let it rest while I prep the rest of the pot roast. I can't say pot roast today. It is pot roast. We're making pot roast. Yeah. So this might get messy. Let's see if I can get it with my tongs. I like to not use my hands. I'm gonna have to use my hands. Okay, here we go. Hey, we did it! Cool. I just realized I don't know if I'm gonna be able to flip it in there with just these tongs, because I can't put my hand in there for that. Things we will find out. Okay, I think I'm gonna flip it now. I'm scared. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Okay. Ooh. I'm just gonna use the side a little bit back here. Oh no! That's a little bit of a massacre. No. Okay. Wait, let me shut it off, please. This is a little bit chaotic. It's fine. Don't worry, everyone. I flipped it. Okay, I flipped it. Okay. Okay, I did it. It's not as browned in one part as I wanted, but that's okay. Got some pretty good color going, and I think I'll leave this side on just a little bit longer. Here we go. Wish me luck. Okay. Oh, it's so big. And this angle is so bad. Okay, ooh, I got it. We did it. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, this is what I was going for. Here, I'll give y'all a quick peek. So it's definitely not cooked all the way through, but it's got a little bit of a nice brown at the top. I could probably have left it longer. Thank you, ma'am. I know. Your time is up. You're done. Good job. Can I just let you go? Yeah, thank you. So, I probably could have left it on just a little bit longer, but this is my first time making this recipe this particular way, and I was nervous. So, I'm pretty happy with this. We're gonna let it rest, and then we're gonna move on to some of our vegetables. Okay, let me tell you my plan. So, I have an onion, a head of garlic, and some red wine. So my plan is I'm going to roughly chop up the onion, and I may not even chop up the garlic. I just might like smash the cloves a little bit and peel them. And then I'm going to take some red wine and use it to kind of loosen up some of the butter, some of the juices at the bottom of my Instant Pot. And then I'm going to just barely cook the garlic and onion in my Instant Pot, saute it for a little bit, try and get it a little bit more cooked, try and get some of that flavor absorbed into the garlic and onion, and then we'll move on to the more traditional part of the pot roast recipe. I can't say pot roast today. I don't know what it is. No, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I thought it was past this. I haven't cried from onions in so long. I'm probably doing something wrong. If some of y'all have a good technique that keeps onions from making you cry, let me know. I know a couple. I just would like to know some better ones. Like, I've used the whole freeze them. Ooh. Don't cry. Don't cry. Okay. I've used the whole like freeze the onion technique. I've done the whole cook in glasses technique. I've done the whole like have a fan going thing. Not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying a lot of it requires like a lot of premeditated thought that I have not put in. So, if y'all know any like knife tips, I think there is a way to cut an onion that minimizes the like fumes. I just don't exactly know what it is. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take half a clove of garlic. Not half a clove, sorry. I think I'm gonna take half a head of garlic and use that in our recipe. I would use a whole one, but I've been told, ooh, geez, y'all, the onion fumes. Oh my goodness, wow. These are bad. Why are they so bad? I don't know. Ah! Okay. First on camera tears? Maybe. I should put that in the title. This recipe made me cry. Propose for the thumbnail in it like. Y'all, I just love garlic. Garlic is one of those things that like I would legitimately eat raw. Like I would legitimately take a bite of this raw. It'd be a little bit strong for me, but I would enjoy it. I don't know. That's one thing I've noticed I have a tendency to kind of like go a little too heavy-handed on in my recipes is like my appreciation and tolerance for garlic is sometimes a little bit more than your average person's. I don't like way over garlic them. I just sometimes forget that there are other flavors that should be present in a dish other than garlic. Alright, so we're just gonna add a little splash. So at the bottom. Okay, perfect. And now we're gonna add our onions and our garlic. Now what the heck, I'm gonna add a little more wine. Why not? It's good anyways. There we go. My onions and garlic are done. I went ahead and turned the saute feature off, and now we're going to go ahead and prep the rest of the pot roast recipe and kind of what we're going to be cooking in the actual pressure cooker part of the Instant Pot. So I've got I can never say Worcestershire, I think that's it, sauce. We've got cream of mushroom soup. We've got tomato soup. We've got this Italian blend of dried herbs that are a little bit more in their whole form. We've got some carrots, and then we've got mushrooms. Now, the carrot and the mushrooms, full confession, will probably not be eaten. My husband and I really love a good pot roast, but we're not super big on the red vegetables that go in it. We just really like the flavor that those vegetables give to the actual roast itself. So, I'll be making some mashed potatoes separately to go with our pot roast, which is why you don't see potatoes here. But I thought mushrooms would be really nice to add to the flavor of the pot roast. And then carrots are always a classic. I might experiment with turning them into a gravy at the end of this. We'll see how adventurous I feel and how hungry I am. I'm gonna go ahead and add our meat back on top of the onions and garlic. See y'all in 45 minutes. All right, it's done. Look at that, y'all. That looks absolutely beautiful. Wow. Okay, I'm so excited. Let's give this a little bit of a try. I get some mashed potatoes with it too. Oh my gosh. That is so good. That is just as tender, if not more tender, than if I were to sit there and like let it cook in a crock pot all day. Let's see if I can get a better picture. Wow. man, okay. So while this recipe is not necessarily new, the crock-pot part was new, not crock-pot. Trying that again. So this may not have been a new recipe that I was testing out, but the Instant Pot worked so well for this recipe, which I knew it would. I've heard of people saying it would work well, but Instant Pots always scare me a little bit because I feel like there's a little more science to it. But this was honestly just as easy, if not easier, than using a crock pot. So hi, Bria from the future editing this video. I wanted to add a quick note. So after sitting down with my husband and eating the pot roast and seeing how it kept in a container and trying it the next day, I feel like this was a good recipe, but I feel like it actually wasn't quite as tender as the pot roast I typically make in a crock pot. So when I make a pot roast in a crock pot, it usually falls apart. You hardly need a knife. I think the flavors in this version were pretty much the same. Like, it tasted just as good. I like the substitutions I did with the vegetables just for our family's preferences, but I did feel like the pot roast itself wasn't as tender as usual. So I don't know if I could have cooked it on maybe a lower temperature in the Instant Pot, if there's a way to do that. I'm sure there is. I don't know if searing it at the beginning, if I didn't have it on a high enough sear, or if maybe that process actually made it a little bit tougher on the outside. But that's kind of my follow-up to this video. It's still a great recipe. I think honestly, if you're trying to do a pot roast in a pinch, this was an awesome way to do it. I just think personally in the future I'll continue to do a crock pot just because I like having it a little bit more tender, a little bit more of that fall apart kind of feel. So back to the video. Okay, that does it for me for this recipe. If you want to try out this pot roast recipe for yourself, as always, you can go to the link in the description and check it out on my blog. I'll have the measurements, the steps, everything you need to try this recipe at home with me. And if you want to try this mashed potato recipe as well, let me know and I'll include that in my blog. But that does it for this day of 12 days of Bakemas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.